now rocking with TDF everything. Spoiled Rotten.
Spoiler alert.
Welcome and welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
It's me, Daniel,
And this is Ben.
on Spoiled Rotten. And today, we are not having to revisit my adventures with Superman. We are just going to be on, what is it? I guess up to date. We are going to be spoiling the first 4 episodes of... I'm saying that and realizing it won't be up to date by the time people listen to this. But hey, listen, it's better than tracking it a year after it aired.
That's right.
We'll be as current as we ever have been.
Yeah, when we say we're up to date, it means within the month of release, basically, because we're freaking adults.
Yeah, or something like that.
Well, one of us is at least.
Jury's out on which one.
Nope.
I think people probably will have 5 or 6 episodes by the time this comes out, but if you listened to our X-Men 97 episode where we did the first episodes, we made it clear. You would have heard episodes 3 and 4 spoiled by us, and now we are dipping into this as a banked episode, but still current. So enjoy.
That's right. Deal with it.
How are you feeling about this season so far?
I very much like that there's no ramp up. They're just going right off the bat. Like on episode 1, I'm like, oh, they're fully going for stuff right now. It's so I'm really, really a big fan of that. And like I said, from season 2, I just really love whole Kara's arc. And just like being the, I guess, adopted, raised daughter of Brainiac, and now her dealing with that after the fact I think it's really fantastic stuff. I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah. Well, I'll get into that when we talk about the episodes. But yeah, I'm liking this season. I'm back to being annoyed with Jimmy, but get back to, at least this time it's because he's not acting like a cartoon.
Yeah.
He's being frustrating, but at least it's based in reality.
Yes.
But it's still annoying.
Yeah,
but I would at least give the show the credit of they're not making him ridiculous. Like, I really just did not vibe with him in the first season. Yeah,
I don't love what he's doing this season, very specifically because he's playing up fuckboy angles and all that kind of stuff. But like, yeah,
he's
like you said, we will
it.
talk about it when we get there for sure. But yeah, he's being annoying right now.
Unfortunately, I don't have notes per episode. I don't remember the details of each episode, but I feel like we can very easily go through the characters and overarching storylines, so that we can kind of have our thoughts on the first 4 episodes of this 3rd season.
Yeah, because we're more than halfway through. Like this season,
right? Is this only 7 episodes?
Only 7 episodes. So
right.
We're more than halfway through. I think we can definitely not have to do the episode by episode beat and all that kind of stuff. But yeah,
even if we wanted to, I would not be able to.
Don't worry, I've got some stuff for sure.
Okay, nice.
But yeah, it's right off the top. I'm like 7 episodes. That's a choice for sure.
Yeah, but I feel like this is coming out sooner than before, but I could be wrong. It feels like, they're actually doing it every year now.
It does feel like they're ramping up production to hit that yearly quota. For sure.
Nope, never mind. This is 2 years. So it's just season 1 and 2 that happened a year apart. This one actually came out 2 years later.
Wow. So
I guess I shouldn't say that. That's not fair. It's 2 years.
It is 2 years, and season 2 was 10 episodes. So to me, I'm just like,
Hey,
it explains why they just kept going, like they got going right off the bat with episode 1. It really did.
But yeah, I think Superman is pretty steady in this, like Clark. I guess it's hard to talk about him without talking about Lois. But I guess talking about overarching things, this season, as you alluded to, we're focused on the aftermath of Kara being like, okay, I don't have Brainiac as my father right now, but she still has these reminders of like, are you good though? Like, you know who your dad is. I feel like you should just embrace that part and not try to be a good person or a hero. So I like that, and we also are dealing with her feelings for Jimmy and him being an idiot and being like, no, she can't like me, even though she's actively saying it. It's not even like he has to read into anything.
Yeah. Classic avoidant behavior.
I'm not a fan of it at all, especially since it felt like season 2 got through it. To be clear, I understand how he would not feel worthy. I just feel like that should end when someone's telling you how they feel. If you like them.
Yeah.
Like if you care about them. But we'll get into that. I'm still in the like overall thing. The other issues we're seeing is Superman, I feel like casually is kind of just like, yeah, and obviously we're gonna get a house together and with Lois or whatever, we're just gonna live a life. And she's like, whoa, that's happening too fast. Not in a I don't want to be with you way, but just in like, really? Like, and he brought that miniature set where it's them as farmers, and she's like, I am not like this. This is not for me. So they're dealing with that, which I think is being handled better.
Yes, I do agree with that.
And those are like our 4 main characters, and they're in the couple. So, and then we have the like little family of Lex, Deathstroke, and Hank Henshaw, which is interesting. And then who I thought was Superboy at first, like their version of Superboy, but then I was like, I guess that's supposed to be Bizarro, like the clone that's part of episodes 1 and 2 mostly.
Yeah.
I thought like, oh, that's an interesting way of doing Superboy just because of the clone aspect. But it seems like they're doing Bizarro because there just is a Superboy in this season.
Yes.
He shows up and it's like, yeah, and I'm your son, like your biological son.
Yeah. Episode 4 has that proven.
Yeah, like
very, very
episode 3, there's like a hint, like he's on screen, but you don't know what his confirm. I mean, technically at episode 4, I don't know if I can be like, that's for sure their son, but he thinks he is, or he's saying he is. Yeah. So that's going on. That also strains the Lois Lane, I'm not really ready to do this, when she's like, well, I'm faced with my actual son right now. So gotta deal with that. Yeah, I feel like those are the major things happening in this season so far. Those are the things we're dealing with. So what did you want to like tackle first in terms of like characters?
Ooh, I mean, let's dive into this Jimmy and Kara thing, because I want to hear what you have to say. I've got a lot to say about it too.
Okay.
So let's go right into it.
For people who haven't watched yet, episode 1 is like it's not light on their relationship, but it hasn't confirmed that they're not together yet. It's just they have a couple's costume, which Lois is like, great, you're doing couple's costumes, it's Halloween, and Jimmy's kind of weird about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. I thought you wanted to be with Kara. And then it's in episode 2 where he just flat out is like, no, I can't be with her because she just got free and she hasn't been able to see the world yet. And I mean, she has, but I guess he's thinking about it more like she hasn't seen it in the state of mind she's in now. Like, a lot of that stuff is stuff she doesn't remember until she's prompted.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, I think like Jimmy's gonna continuously move the goalposts no matter what to mean like, oh, this is how I'm unworthy, and trying to present it as if he's thinking of her when realistically
I don't like it. As I stated up top, like, she just told him straight up, I have feelings for you. It wasn't coded, it wasn't anything. It was just straight up, I want to be like Lois and Clark. I want you to be my mate. I want you to be my boyfriend. I like you. And he was like, are you sure about that? I'm like, yes, she's sure. Like, you just need to embrace the relationship and see where that goes.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of fuckboy things.
So then he
to
tells
me.
her to date a bunch of people,
Yep.
and then he joins some dating service where undeniably funny things happen. But I'm just like, what? Don't fuck around. Just date her or don't. Like, this is stupid.
I just love Kara's whole breakdown and commentary of her experience on dating apps.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's two things she says that just had me howling. Is like the first thing is like, oh, all these men have fish. So
Yeah.
like that's amazing.
Like, no, I gotta check another one. And Lois like, it's gonna be a fish. They're gonna have a fish. Don't worry
they're gonna
about
have fish. And then the other thing she says is like, wow, 70 guys all had the same thing to say today, and that's sup.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is amazing. It's so good.
Yeah, it's very funny. As I said, like, there's the stuff that Kara's not witnessing, is just living through and experiencing for the first time, but also just the weird ass like worms thing that Jimmy's doing, where he like at one point he's turned into a monkey or a wolf. I'm hoping it's a wolf.
I think it's a wolf.
Yeah,
I hope it's not a monkey for racist reasons. Yeah.
And he's kind of just like in it because are they paying him to do it, or like he's getting a discount for doing this?
I believe what they said was that he's doing investigative journalism for it. So
right, what he said.
I
but
don't believe him.
I feel like the people running it were like, we want you to keep doing this, even if he said it's for investigative report like reasons. He's getting some benefit out of using this out of any other dating service.
Yes.
But it doesn't go well. Also, they're really amping up how annoying he is with the communicator. Because this one isn't just a beep, like it's legitimately he can talk to you whenever he wants.
Yeah.
And I do like at one point this is in the second episode, he's like he keeps asking for help, but Superman's busy. And he's like, do we really have to talk about this now? I'm kind of trying to do just a Lois day here. And he's like, I guess we don't have to talk about it now, until he like Giganta is like, she's finally like, okay, like I'm gonna just show you who I really am, and she's carrying him down the street, and he goes by Superman's window. It's like, I think now is the time we should be talking about this. I'm like, that's funny. I do like this.
It's really, really good.
Because it's times where, again, I don't think he's done this since the first season, of where he was just like too cartoonish to fit in this world. I like the times where you're like, oh no, he's just being a real person, and I liked that moment in particular. Just like, you've been ducking me all day. I feel like now you should probably just take this seriously. So yeah, I'm struggling with how he's acting in this moment, while also acknowledging he is not acting in ways people have never acted before. Yeah,
he's like, how old do they want us to think he is in the show? Like, how old is he? He's like,
they're out of university.
Okay,
the whole thing is that he was Clark's roommate in university.
So mid to late 30, mid 20s, early probably, late.
I feel like
20s.
they're probably not 30.
Okay,
otherwise, the mum thing wouldn't be such a big deal for Lois.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna say like mid 20s. Then.
Yeah.
In which case, I do understand why these behaviors exist. However, I don't like them because they remind me of a version of myself that I do not like. So
yes. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, I already lived being an idiot like this.
Yeah.
I don't. And maybe this is for other people, but it's just annoying. I don't like it.
It very much is. Yeah, because like everything he says to be like, oh yeah, because the thing that really gets me is Lois is actively being like, yo, dude, get together. You're screwing this up. Like, you're just screwing this up immensely. And he's just like, no, this is the right way. And I'm like, no, you're just putting in more bullshit and more barriers in the way just so that she can climb them to prove to your insecure ass that she actually likes you, which is bullshit. It's just like, no, she already said it. So now you're just making her go through all these motions and then putting yourself through the ringer because it's just like, oh, lo and behold, guess what? Other people are attracted to her too. And there's a whole lot more single guys than there are single women out there.
And I feel like people call him out like, didn't you just say you wanted her to date? He's like, yeah, I didn't think she was actually going to do it. And I'm like, see, I'm even more angry now.
Yeah, that's the kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what
I
do like
for?
that Lois kind of egged Kara on, kind of just being like, well, it's a competition, yeah. And she's like, oh, then I'll beat him. Yeah, okay. I'll date every one of these motherfuckers and I'll beat him. I'll be the one that dates the most people.
Yeah, like Kara's response to this is genuinely so funny because she's fish out of water in the whole dating scene stuff. That really works for me. And it's not cartoonish, but it is still very, very innocent and naive, so to speak.
Yeah.
But Jimmy stuff, I'm just like, nah, man, you're being such a dumbass here. If you two like each other, you're already doing couples costumes during the talking phase, as the kids would call it nowadays. I'm like, no, just get together with her. Stop being a dummy and stop doing this shit. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's no good. As in, I'm not saying it's bad writing. I'm saying I don't like watching it.
Yes.
But that doesn't make it bad writing. It's just annoying because I'm not there in life.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's so many stories in real life of people being like, oh, nobody wants me, women don't like me or whatever. And now we're just showing a character you're supposed to like and root for, like, isolate himself.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, do we need this for a hero to be doing?
Yeah, I mean, you're not in it. I'm still in it because now I have to deal with other people that pull this kind of bullshit, and I'm just like, come on, man. Like, I can't.
I just mean,
like,
it's not something you would do.
It's not something I would do at all.
Regardless of other people are doing to you.
Yes,
that's
it's
not
something that's
you're going to
correct. So I'm not annoyed at myself anymore, which is great. However, it is something that I'm actively seeing in other people, and I'm just like, well, this is shitty. Because it's just like, why would I go through all this therapy just to be aware of what other people are doing to me? But whatever. It's fine. That's why you're absolutely right. It's good writing. But it's just annoying to watch. Because I'm just like over that shit. It's so bad.
Exactly.
Yeah. But again, good writing. And Jimmy is playing it up from an voice acting standpoint really, really well. Because when he's like doing that whole like, oh, but like when he's moving the goalpost around Lois, I'm like, yeah, it sounds like he really believes his own bullshit right now, which is really, really good for the voice actor playing Jimmy to finally get something to grip onto instead of being like, hey, you have to be completely in a different show compared to everyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like he was in the same show in the second season, but to your point, this season they're giving him. Actually, to your point, I don't remember what he did in the second season. I just remember he was way more involved and was not an idiot.
Yes,
like first season. This season, I'm obviously watching now, so I'm like, yeah, okay, like. He has moments right there where, like, even while we were talking and you were saying, oh, he's putting up all these, I'm like, no, he's not. And then I was like, wait, no, he tricked me with his bullshit. Like, yes, he's definitely doing that. So I agree with you that the voice actor is getting a lot to do as well. Or is executing well. Because up until you said it out loud, I was just like, oh, well, he's just really not sure. But I'm like, no, he's just being an asshole. And, like, whether or not it's conscious, he's putting up these barriers, as you said, so that she can prove herself to him, which is terrible, and I don't like it. It's terrible. And he tricked me until you said that. So, yeah. Yep.
It's I hope Jimmy turns this around, or Kara recognizes her own self-worth and goes like, no, I don't want to deal with this fucking around from you. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
But then we're probably going to have to deal with a Jimmy that's, like, in incel emo mode for next season.
Or I hope it's just like in the Melissa Benoist Supergirl, where they're just like, look, we're not having a white woman and a black man together. They just don't ever talk about it ever again. We'll just move on.
That's rough.
Although it is a mixed race woman playing Kara. So maybe they will keep them together.
Hopefully. I hope so.
Yeah, that's them. There's more to talk about for Kara, I would believe, but we can get into the Superman Lois relationship,
Yeah.
and then get into the villain type stuff or the other pressure points in the season. As I said, I like this more because I don't think that Clark is playing games. He's just being honest, and it's just not working for Lois.
Yep.
And I don't think she's looking for an exit strategy, but I do appreciate that she could be like, "Oh, you're like already thinking about like retired life, basically." And we're both reporters. We're both ambitious. I don't really feel like that kind of talk is necessary at this point in our lives, and I appreciate that conflict a lot more because it's two people coming at it honestly.
Yes.
She's trying to buy time, that's for certain, but she does agree to the like, let's have brunch together and actually talk about the future. It just gets interrupted.
Right.
But I do like that ultimately they were going to have an honest conversation about it.
Yes, and I very much love where Clark is coming from with this, because like he says in episode 1, it's like after that stuff with Brainiac, it just made me think about the future a lot. And like, all these things, he's being clear, communicative, vulnerable, and honest, and all that kind of stuff. He's letting Lois know what his ideas are. I just don't think he's as aware of how much pressure it's putting on Lois when you get to the things like the dollhouse and like, oh, there's a little thing, and then here's a model house of what our house is going to look like in Smallville or whatever. And
I feel like he even says like, I can buy this house or whatever, like the actual house, not the model. Yeah,
he says a lot of, like, he's ready to go, and Lois is very much like, I need a minute to and that's what I really like about this, is that Lois is like, yeah, I see the same thing you see, but on a different timeline than you're seeing right now. And I like that conflict, because ultimately the idea of both, like, two people wanting the same thing but one person not being ready for it, and the other person ultimately having to be like, okay, I have to wait until she's ready, because let's be perfectly honest, it's her decision to start the family and all that kind of stuff. And it is just one of those things where this conflict to me is really good. It needs to be a mutual decision, real.
Yes. It can't just be like, oh, this is what I want,
right?
And then one person's like, oh, okay,
yeah,
I guess it just needs to be a mutual decision.
Yes, yeah.
I'm assuming you said that because of her body and with that, but
that is correct.
That removes the idea of like adoption and stuff like that, where the body doesn't have to go through that. So it just needs to be a mutual choice that you're going to have a child together in whatever way that looks like for whatever couple.
Right. And I do love that whole, like, in episode 4 where, like, you actually see Superboy, like, coming in to the whole situation and just being like, yeah, guess what? Your fear, it actually does happen. You know what I mean? So, like, that's great. A nice little bookended thing, but it is one of those things where the arrival of Superboy, Jonathan Kent, is very, very interesting in itself.
Yeah, I want to talk about that in its own thing, but I agree with you that he makes it very interesting, because it's not just an issue for Lois. I feel like everyone has their own relationship with him out of the 4 main characters I see: Kara, Jimmy, Clark, and Lois. So yeah, he's a very interesting addition to the story, but I do want to talk about that in its own setting. I think the other thing that keeps coming up with their relationship, at least in the first 2 or 3 episodes, is Superman actually having scheduled Superman time. He's like, no, I don't have any Superman stuff today, I can do this, or I don't. And I'm like, that's very interesting, because I never considered that before. I feel like most versions we see, it's just like, if I hear something, I gotta go.
Yep.
The idea that he'd be like, I'm going to be on call today, like, that's way healthier for sure. I don't know if he could deal with that, but like, at least that is showing more respect to Lois in that way of like, I actually will schedule time off from this.
Yeah, it's a side of Clark that to me is very like, oh, dude, you're really emotionally secure in everything that he does, in just the idea of, hey, I'm on call just so you know today, or something to that effect is, yeah, I've never heard it from a superhero in period.
Yeah,
let alone this happening. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, because I guess this would be the first season where everyone's on the same page of what's going on, and so it's nice to think that in between seasons there was a conversation of like, you know, you can't be on call all the time. That doesn't work for any of this, and so I like that without showing a calendar. There's just like he could just drop a line like, "Oh yeah, like I don't have anything to do today," as in I don't have any superhero stuff to do today. That means I get to focus on my relationship. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Do we want to just do the Superboy thing now?
I mean, yeah, let's go for it.
So I don't remember what happens at the end of episode 3, but he's kind of like rushed out the door, like, okay, you got to go do that thing, and then he shows up in episode 4, and he's like, I'm your son. This is it. This is happening. As you said, your worst nightmare come true. So there's a lot of Lois, rightfully so, being like, I don't know. He says that, but I don't believe it. He might be lying, but they're like both doing the same thing at the same time, and even Clark is like, I don't think he is. He's definitely your kid. And like when he gets the same food as her and stuff like that, all things I feel like he could have studied if he's from the future or whatever, but it doesn't really. I will just go with the show right now that is the real Jonathan Kent and not some imposter or something like that. Yeah. But what I found very interesting is his inability to spend more than a couple of seconds with Kara at a time. There's like she's constantly trying to engage with him, and he's like, "No, I'm going over there to do something with literally anyone but you." And I'm like, oh, what are they doing there? I like this. And then with Jimmy, it's just like, no, they're just friends. Like they go on they do the makeover montage and shit.
Yeah, they go shopping.
With Clark, but it's like it feels like Jimmy's just his guy.
Yeah,
like they're just friends. Obviously the thing for Clark would be, well, I said I wanted to be a dad, but also seeing Lois react to it. And again, I'm not saying the show's being unfair, but for me, it's like not that fair because it's not like she got to raise this child or like carry the child or anything. It was just like, you're just here saying you're my son, so I'm a bit put off. But I do feel like that factors into Clark witnessing that and her reaction to having a kid. But yeah, I'm very interested to see why he's very cold on getting to know Kara better.
Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting. Because like obviously I'm going to assume that it's not for romantic reasons, because that would be incest, and that would be weird. Yeah, the idea that they're like maybe Kara was just like really harsh on him in the future, or I don't know, something like that. But you're right, that whole dynamic that they have together, which is so like, I'm gonna go for here now.
Also, I want to make it clear, I know it's not actually his aunt, because they would be cousins, whatever, second cousins or first cousins once removed, something like that. But with the age differences, I just feel like you would just go with aunt at that point.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm very curious as to why that is, and I like that throughout that episode, Lois has her ups and downs with him. Like she's not fully get the fuck away from me. She will have moments of like, hey, like we like the same things, we do this, and then she'll catch herself and be like, this is still weird though, because you just came out of nowhere. So I really like that. Yeah. I guess that's pretty much it with Superboy, right? Like,
I will say that shopping kind of montage or whatever, I'm like, Nice. That's how he gets the leather jacket that he's famous
which
for.
I really like the leather jacket.
I
I think it's
really
the
like
first
it.
time where I was like, I like the design of this
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, it looks really really cool. I like that they built it into this. It's goofy, it's kind of fun, but I'm like it works really really well because I know Superboy does have that leather jacket.
Yeah, that's the action figure I had was him with a really cool leather jacket, and I was just like, yeah, this is that's what I played with when I was a kid. Great.
Yeah, it's cool. It's so cool.
Um, yeah. So I don't really remember what he does other than just what we've touched on already.
Well, I mean, at the end of the episode, he does reveal like, "Hey, I am from the future. I do this and all that kind of stuff, and I was sent back in time because the both of you are dead because of Henshaw." That's what he does.
So he's got to face off against Hank
Yeah.
Henshaw. Got it.
Yes, and or they've got to destroy Henshaw in order to whatever. But I think the great thing is that it was Luthor that sentenced Superboy back in time.
So this
in
is
episode 3.
We're able to factor in like certain storylines where he is a clone of Superman and Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
but we also know that he in the comics he does have Jonathan Kent as a straight up biological son.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that they're mixing everything together here.
Yeah.
And by everything, I mean the two things I know about versions of Superboy.
Sure.
I'm like, I know these things for sure, and they're doing it great. Like, or they're like hinting at it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But yeah, Lex in a much calmer. He's not calm, but he's not as intense as present day.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor. He's a bald Lex Luthor that seems more caring.
Yeah.
Even though he is like, hey, we gotta go, we gotta do this. So yeah, I guess that leads into Hank Henshaw, who I liked his. So at the end of episode 1 is where they reveal he's on the table, like being brought back to life with cyborg parts. And I liked his entrance in episode 2 because the first episode they're dealing with the clone. And you see the clone in episode 2, like at the convention or whatever it is. So I was like, oh, he's going to help because he keeps looking at Superman. And then they just show a blur, and I'm like, yeah, that's going to be the clone. And this Hank Henshaw, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot this guy was here. And I like this, that he's like, it's the whole like, oh no, I'm just going to kill the bad guys. I don't need to make them feel like they could do better in life. They just need to die. And I'm like, this is a very interesting fight for Superman, as he has to save those people. And I feel like it's that fight where they like show that he is a cyborg, right? Like a piece of his thing comes off.
Are you talking about episode 2 right now, or
yeah.
Because I think it's episode 3.
Okay, episode 3 happens.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, is episode 3 where they have to like get those thieves?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I really like that fight scene. All the ways that it progresses. Like there's like the thieves that are just like, oh, it's just Superman. Oh shit, that's not Superman. And then he really takes care of most of them. It is the weird thing where I'm like, why slow up now? It is so that Superman can catch up and be like, no, don't kill everybody. But I'm like, realistically, she should be dead too.
Yeah.
There was no real need for this, but like, I'm glad that Superman got to catch up. And like, there's a point where he like body checks Hank Henshaw. I'm like, there you go, buddy. Yeah, like don't be so nice about everything. You're doing the right thing. Good for you. Or at least trying to give these people a shot at redemption, which is worthwhile.
Yep.
And I like that even then that woman's just kind of like, I'm not giving this to you. He's like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? Like they have a moment where they're like bickering back and forth, and he's like, just stop. Just come on. Just give me the thing. I'm already letting you go. Just stop fucking around. It's like, no, okay, fine. I'm like, you're really getting off easy, lady. But yeah, Hank Henshaw, the only thing I know about him from the comics is he just blames Superman for his I think he was an astronaut or a pilot. Doesn't matter to me. He
Sure.
was in the air and he crashed, and
Right.
he's like, this is Superman's fault," even though it wasn't. And in this show, I like that it's Lex Luthor being like, "You're not mad at me," because at a certain point, Hank Henshaw does the thing that I'm really liking in superhero stuff lately, where he's like, "I have all the power here. Why would I listen to you? I don't
Yeah.
want to listen to you." And Lex Luthor's, "Hey, don't be mad at me. No, I brought you back to life. You're mad at Superman." I'm like, "Oh, okay, here we go. Now he will be focused on Superman." Because before he was just like, "No, I'm the better version of Superman," but now he can actually be like, "And I actually hate Superman as well." So this is a thing that will be happening. And then, as you mentioned, we get confirmation that he will kill Clark and Lois.
Right.
So he's an issue. They're gonna have to figure that out.
It's definitely a problem for sure.
And it feels like Deathstroke is just not a thing anymore. Like, he's around, but just doesn't seem like he's being deployed to do much of any Deathstroke type things. He's just kind of there to be like, "I'll clean this up, I guess." I don't know.
He's getting pushed off to the side in this season for sure. But I mean, to be fair, it is because of Superman, which
Yeah,
there's
well, I
no
just was like, why is
world.
he still here?
yeah.
Okay, I would just be like, he's off doing other stuff.
Yeah. It's like he's
Like,
running a mission in
yeah,
the Middle East or something like that.
yeah. I mean, there's a Batman, I'm sure, in this universe, or something, or a Dick Grayson he could be dealing with.
Yep.
But yeah, he's kind of just around. Because I feel like last season there was kind of a brother, like a sibling rivalry with Lex, when they were still under Amanda Waller. But now it seems like it's more of a sibling rivalry with him and Hank Henshaw, and I'm just like, all right, but you could just be your own thing.
Yeah.
If you wanted.
Yeah, that's the curious part. Maybe Luthor's got really great benefits for Deathstroke. I can't imagine the supervillain game having a lot of benefits.
I'm
like
sure
medical or mental.
there's like an element of like, hey, you point me in the right direction, I do the thing. And I'm like, but he's not really pointing you anywhere now.
Yeah.
You should find something else to do. But I've only seen 4 episodes. So maybe he'll have an amazing turn of events in the next 3 episodes.
I guess so, because like, I guess they're trying to use him like Marcy Graves normally would be used.
Yeah, like Mercy Graves, but I'm like, that's not usually his function. But
Yeah.
it is here.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, maybe they just didn't want to do the Marcy Graves thing, but that's what it feels like they're doing with Deathstroke right now, anyways.
Fair enough. That's a good call. Is there anything else with the clone, or like are they saving that for like what I just assume is a Bizarro reveal later?
I'm assuming they're saving that for the next episode, which, episode 5 is already, it's named, it's out there, but it's called The Death of Superman. So I'm very, very much expecting that either Bizarro or Hank Henshaw have something to do with that. But we'll see. We'll see. What I really, really do like about the clone is how Kara can really, really clue in on it. It's just like, hey, I was raised as a weapon, and I didn't have anything close to what this clone had been raised as and all that kind of stuff. He was not raised as a weapon, which I think is really, really cool insight that she brought in.
In, like, she was able to be like, hey, you don't have to beat him up. Like, there's a chance he could just be fine if we continue to give him guidance.
Yes.
Or at least don't treat him like a problem.
Correct.
And back him into that corner. Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, it's really, really good stuff. But yeah, this season, it's, man, I really hope Jimmy just pulls it around, because like, what the fuck is going on with Jimmy? I don't like this.
Nothing good.
No.
Hopefully him and Jonathan Kent can just or at least Jonathan Kent can just distract him and have him be like, oh, I'm gonna be Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah. I hope John Kent does say something like, yeah, you two in the future are really, like, you two are married, but you're real stupid.
It does feel like this time traveling character is not concerned about ruining things for people.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm here because you die. Jimmy Olsen, right?
Yeah.
Sure, you're married. Yeah, to Kara, but you're not happy. None of you are happy.
Yeah, you two are going through a really bad divorce, and you're trying to pick sides, and man, that's like, I can't imagine that would be the reason, but like that would be consistent with what John Kent is doing right now. It's like, hey, spoiler alert, the both of you are dead in the future, and like it's because of that guy. So we gotta figure that out. I'm like, that's
I'm hoping he's not an imposter. I keep saying that because I'm just like, I just want to know that this time spent with these people is not a trick.
Yeah.
I like the impact he's had, and so if he really is the son, that means I'm interested in how he's been relating to Lois and Kara and the other stuff I'm not so big on, but I do like how he's related to those two characters, even though I maintain that he has connections to all four of them. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, yeah, I don't want this to be a trick.
I can't see it being a trick.
Yeah.
And like, I get that this is a season where we're showing like cyborgs and clones exist that can clone Kryptonians and all that kind of stuff. So the feasibility is there. But the idea that he was so similar to Lois,
and that all the other characters like, no, I don't think this is a thing. Not based on just I have a gut feeling, but just seeing how they are the same type of person.
Right.
I'm hoping that means something.
Yeah, and I get that Clark's kind of being a bit naive when he's like, well, I mean, what else would explain his powers? I'm like, you have Cyborg Superman and a Kryptonite clone, a Kryptonian clone. I'm like, two things explain what you just said. So he's pretty purposely.
I mean, look, he just wants to get married and live on a farm. He's not really into this whole.
I think you're right.
Let me pick apart what's going on here. I'm very interested to see how this keeps going. Obviously, a lot of what I feel Clark is looking forward to is part of the baby stage. Yes, he's got like a teenage boy now to hang out with and do that type of fatherly stuff. But I'm interested to see like how that affects someone if they do in fact have a kid later on, but he's already met them, and what he puts on that kid based on his time now with him.
Yeah.
It would be very interesting to see. I don't know if they would play that out in the show, but it would be like, because I feel like this show probably ends with them deciding to actually start a family.
Maybe.
The whole series. I don't mean this season.
Right.
I mean, like, if this goes 10 seasons, which I doubt in this economy, however long it goes, I'm assuming that's where they would end on, like, okay, now they're really going to get together.
Right. Makes a whole lot of sense, which means that there's probably going to be a breakup season where they find their way back to each other.
But didn't they broke up? They already broke up. I guess they did. Again.
They're probably going to do it again. Because like I could see the conflict being like, listen, Clark, I want this, but you're pushing too much, too fast, and that's pushing me away. Like I could see that. Because Lois has already done a version of that kind of thing, right? So the idea of like him not getting it and being like all in and really, really too enthusiastic, I'm just like, yeah, I could see that happening again. And like this time it would be like, oh, this is much more legitimate. Like I would 100% be on Lois's side to be like, yeah, if he wants this now and he's putting that pressure on you, then he's not actually listening to what it is that you want. So yeah, he's just speed running to the baby part,
which he unfortunately kind of admit to when he's like, because of the Brainiac stuff.
Yeah. Which again,
sometimes it's nice to frame that as I have clarity now, but a lot of times it just comes off like, well, you're just afraid that this could all go away, and now we're not gonna live the relationship. We're going to speedrun it, as you said.
Yeah. Lockdown anchor baby.
I would like to see what his version of talking about the future is, though.
Yeah.
It seems like he's very attentive in certain ways. So it would be nice to see him not reacting, but like, okay, this is my pitch on what our future is. And then getting the feedback and seeing what he does with it, because
Yeah.
obviously we haven't been able to see that at this point.
I gotta be honest, I'm much more interested in Lois's part of the conversation just because I feel like I already know what Clark wants.
Well, we know what he wants, but we've heard Lois actually detail what her issue is.
Yes.
So he knows they need to talk about the future, so I'd like to see him, like, what I'm saying is he's not a dummy, right? Like,
No.
he already knows they need to talk about the future because she hasn't liked how he's been hinting at what he wants. So I need to hear what his version of actually pitching her on that is, as opposed to just him being like, yeah, I want it, like, because obviously this conversation can't just be like, well, as you've noticed, yes, I want to get married and live on a farm. Because, yeah, we know they both know that that's what he wants. So now it's more about how is he going to fold her into that plan.
Sure.
As the ostensibly attentive partner that he seems to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're right, he's very, very attentive, but he's a little obtuse here, or maybe he's just like not processing the Brainiac stuff properly and just trying to be like, hey, let's anchor baby this now and get married and hold 9 yards and all that.
Yeah, I'd like to see, because they do have, I agree with you that what Jimmy's doing is selfish. I'd like to see more of Clark actually detailing what it is he wants and how he sees them moving forward, to have a better sense of how selfish he's being, because I do think that it's more of like I'm just clear on what I don't want to waste time playing games. So if he's saying like, this is just what I want for us ultimately, that's different than like, we need to do this now, like there's some version of there's a clock on this and like we got to do it, because it would be not unheard of but weird to do the same playbook for both of those characters of like they're just being selfish. So I'm hoping he's not doing that, but to your point, he might just be like, I just need to lock this down, and I'm hoping that's not the case, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were just like that, and then he still has to like learn how to adjust and be like, no, Lois is the person I want to be with, so it's better to be with her than to force my vision of this on her.
And to your point, it's just like having both male characters pull that same card of like, I don't care what you want, this is what we're doing and all that kind of stuff, is going, that would be a choice for sure, but it's not, I can't see it that way. I could just see the idea of like, okay, because the thing I appreciate with Lois and Clark in this season, like you said, they are trying to have a conversation with him. It just got interrupted and all that kind of stuff, which is like, okay, fair enough. They're actively trying, they're actively making moves and all that. Life gets in the way, as it usually does with these kind of things. And then furthermore, it's just like, hey, even if life didn't get in the way, it's one of many ongoing conversations, I would imagine. Probably not for the audience sake, like, you know what I mean, and the idea of like, how many conversations do we want the audience to see, but the idea of like, that's probably not going to be the only one, or just because like, hey, they get to the conversation, they're not gonna lock in a plan to be like, hey, in 3 years this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. It's just like, hey, we're, you know, like, I would like the idea of them being like, well, can we at least get married first before that part, you know? Not to say that kids have to happen within wedlock, but if that's what the both of them want, and to kind of go forward, I'm like,
they definitely have to live together first.
They definitely got to live together, because like, yeah, like they're living, like Clark and Jimmy are still living in the bunk bed situation.
Yeah, and I guess Kara's living with Lois. Yeah, that's so. I would say, yeah, living. I know there's a generation that doesn't agree with that, but I do feel like when you, and not just, oh, one stays over at another person's place, like actually being like, this is our place together, helps you get a better sense of what's going on. Yeah, sharing bills, doing that kind of stuff, like the domestic, like, and say what, okay, I get that that's a generational thing, that older generations don't want that. I'm like,
that's a bad decision. Like those are bad ideas that you have. Like, what do you mean you don't live together before spending the rest of your life together with someone? It's just like do or die. It's what the hell is this? You know what I mean?
It is quite the transition to go from we see each other a couple times a week to no, this is the person I choose to live with.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculously bad decision, and just like. Yeah, like I've had people go like, "Oh yeah, I don't think I would do that unless I was," I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm not you. I make better decisions than you."
Yeah,
and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Listen, man, we're talking about a world where you idolize your grandparents getting married as teenagers. In this day and age, that's a hell of a reckless decision making process." So it's like, don't tell me that back in my day, because back in your day, shit was very, very different than it is now. We know better now.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
like, what the hell?
So yeah, I would hope that they can come to some kind of agreement on should we, and not on a farm, because then you're just doing his plan. Some kind of compromise where they can test out living together and having that kind of closeness. Well, yeah, I actually do want to say intimacy, and I don't mean sexually, but like that kind of intimacy where you're like, you see, like, do you always have to be on when you're living together, or can you actually coexist and be yourselves around each other?
Yes. Can you be boring together?
Yeah.
Like, that's the most important thing. That's one of the biggest things in relationships, I find. It's just like the being on and like having dates and all that kind of stuff. That's easy compared to letting down all your guards and being like, oh, we're just gonna sit on this couch and brain rot together. Like, you know what I mean? If you can't be comfortable brain rotting around someone, then it's the idea of like, yeah, I don't think you're comfortable enough to be yourself around someone.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm hoping they come to something. I guess I'd like in the Kara and Jimmy situation. I'm more just I want Kara to be happy. So if her happiness is with Jimmy, good for her. If it's not, probably even better because that guy seems draining.
He's doing some fuckboy shit for sure. Some insecure fuckboy shit. I hate it so much. And I like this is why I put out the option there. I'm like, I hope Kara recognizes her own worth.
Yeah.
And does not put up with this shit.
I mean, I do like at some point she's like, I'm hot, so like yeah, I will be able to just date a bunch of people. Yeah. She's like, I am genuinely attractive. I know that. Yeah, I really do like that portion of the strained relationship of her just being like, oh, it's a competition he wants. Great. Something for me to win.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's being petty or spiteful. I think she's just like, oh, okay, he wants to compete. Sure. Yeah.
Because
okay.
Yeah, 100%. Because like the reality here is Jimmy has way more dating experience than Kara does. Kara was raised by Brainiac, never really had, I think, the option of dating under Brainiac's rule. So this is all on Jimmy. Like, she's approaching this being like, as naive as she is, like, oh, he wants to make this a game? Because I'm like, yeah, because you're playing games. Yeah. And the whole point of a game is to win. So she has her head on straight from that logic standpoint. So this is the biggest thing. And this is why I love the fact that Jimmy's annoying everyone else with the communicator, because I'm like, oh, what you need to do is actually have a talk with her. But you're avoiding that by annoying everyone else and talking and communicating with everyone else. So it's just, get your shit together, Jimmy, and younger version of myself. Like, have those conversations and stop playing games.
This was my thing. Like, I really liked the movie Obsession, but I just remember being like, I feel like too many people will be like, oh, I was like this guy at one point, and be like, so then he's not that bad. I'm like, no, it is bad to be like this very specific depiction, and I don't mean the otherworldliness of it. There's just some very common, like, real life things where you're like, this is what you're choosing to do with this opportunity here, or this in here. So I should say that's all. I'm talking about opportunities before he makes the wish. I'm not talking about the rape stuff, by the way. But yeah, I just really do feel like coming off of that movie, I really did feel like, oh man, I was shitty in that way.
Yes.
Sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of people saw that. But I also was like, but he's very obviously the bad guy in this situation, and it's happening with Jimmy, and I'm like, if they didn't have that first season where I was so annoyed with him, I might be able to handle this better. But I'm just like, we had one season where I wasn't annoyed at him, and now we're back to me being annoyed at him.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because, like I said, it's just seeing this kind of shit. It just reminds myself of the type of toxic I used to be, and not proud of it. Don't love it.
No.
Hated it. And the idea of like, oh shit, I see everything that Jimmy's doing, and I understand that all too well. That doesn't, like, I'm not one of those people that's just like, oh, that means he's not that bad of a guy. I'm like, no, it means he needs to grow the fuck up. That's
you like, it's not it's not a condemnation of like, well, fuck that guy forever. It's more just like, come on, like, I was able to get past it, like, obviously over years, but like, it is possible to get through this, and it's painful to watch someone not take the right steps at the moment in these first 4 episodes to getting better and to dig their heels in on this bad behavior.
Yeah, because it's just like, this is clearly a situation where it's like, he doesn't need to make those mistakes. He needs to listen to other people around him telling him
and the
what
person
to do.
He actively wants to be with.
Yes, but he's actively being like, no, I've got to see if like the paint's still wet, or like if the sizzling plate is actually as hot as the server says. Like, he's got to make that mistake himself, and I'm just like, man, that sucks. And it just reminds me, because like my younger cousin, has a relationship right now with a guy, and came to me recently with some relationship problems, and it's like, well, how long did it take you to figure this out? I'm like, well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm 40 now. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, it's like, hey, a lot of men are basically golden retrievers, where they don't fully develop a brain until they're 30, if you're lucky. It's just like, some men just don't ever. So, good luck with that, cousin.
Yeah, you really gotta watch out for what that person is willing to do for the relationship. I don't want to make it seem like do for you in a that kind of service, but like do for the relationship to help you guys build together. Which can be hard if you just really like the person for whatever reason. Yeah. Luckily, Kara's not going through it yet.
Yes.
And I hope she doesn't have.
I hope she doesn't.
Heartbreak.
I hope Jimmy is very single at the end of this.
As I said, if what Kara wants is to be with him, then I hope that she gets that. But if she doesn't want that, which I would prefer, then I would be happy with that. Yeah,
that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, it's not that I don't want them together. I don't want her together with this version of Jimmy. Like I said, he needs to grow up.
Yeah.
That's it. There's nothing wrong with him as a person. He just is stuck in that insecure male like mindset, and so he's just moving the goalpost and just constantly making shit about him when it really isn't about him at all.
No, it should be about them as a couple.
That's correct.
But here we are. I mean, look, they tricked me. I thought like, that's just an annoying part of the show, but this has been the meat of the conversation. Yeah, like, hey, they really got me with this. This is a very key part of this season.
And then that's why I'm like, no, fundamentally it is good writing. Fundamentally it's good voice acting. They're doing a good job with it. It's just that the subject matter annoys the hell out of me because it's so close to myself and what I used to be in my 20s.
It's a hard watch for the same reasons for me. Yeah. But I'll just trust that the writers have a plan here.
I firmly believe that they have some sort of plan.
And what I mean is, like, we did spend a lot of time being like, I did saying, I just care about Kara and her feelings. My hope is that they don't leave Jimmy in a position where it's just like, oh yeah, he was just too shitty. We got to move on from him. I'm hoping that the growth doesn't have to mean that he's with her, but just that there is growth for him.
Yes.
And he becomes a better person. Because right now, jeez.
Yeah. Plus, like, that whole, like, idea of, like, episode 3 with the worm stuff, where Giganta is just so enthralled with him.
Because she's like asking all these questions, and I thought she was there to like kill him, but she's like, no, like you just seem like a good person. I like that.
Yeah, she like legit likes him, and I'm like, see, this is the bullshit that you're doing right now, Jimmy. You're not only hurting Kara, you're hurting other people that think you're available as an option when realistically you're not, and you're just holding out for Kara and doing this bullshit. So you're hurting so many people around you to the point where she had to flex her superpowers.
I was so surprised when she was like, no, I genuinely, like, all those questions were so that I could be like, oh, so then you could hang out with me. I can finally be myself around you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, no. Can you just be a bad guy? I'd rather you were a bad guy.
Right? It's one of those things where I'm like, no, I understand Giganta's whole thing here. It's, yeah, you showed up earnestly and honestly, and the other person didn't, and you got hurt as a result. It sucked.
Oh man, what a bummer for Giganta.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm getting closer and closer to being like, fuck Jimmy. I don't care if he's happy, but I don't like that for the only like explicitly black character in the main cast.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, that's it for those 4 episodes. Unless you have something else, I don't remember anything else.
No, I mean, there was the dinosaur people, but whatever. That's a small part of.
Is that in the first episode?
That's the 4th episode.
Yeah. It's too late by that.
It's not a worthwhile conversation because it's clearly not what the season is interested in dealing with. It's just here's the monster of the week type of thing.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Were they fun? I genuinely didn't remember them.
I just love dinosaurs. So if there's like a dinosaur related whatever, I'm all in for it.
That's fair. Yeah, I couldn't I wouldn't even be able to, give a sketch artist a description. I'd just be like, oh, my friend said there was dinosaur people in it.
Yeah.
You'll have to ask him.
Yeah, I'll call it this really, really detailed, in-depth conversation. That's basically like you could draw a police sketch based on my description. That's how much I love dinosaurs.
Well, I'm glad they were there. But yeah, obviously it did not have any impact on me. It was all about the relationship drama and the Superboy making things awkward with Kara.
Yep.
So yeah, I genuinely don't know at this point. We'll probably just come back to this when all the episodes are done, realistically.
Yeah, probably.
I don't see us coming back to this before the end of the season.
Yeah, that would be
But
weird.
if we do, and you like this coverage, then you're in luck. I'm pretty sure we'll just finish up X-Men and then get back to this.
Yeah.
But who knows? We'll here's a good thing. You can follow us. We're at TDF Spoiled on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube, and you can go to tdfeverything.com/spoiledrotten to find different ways to connect with us. You can email us, spoiledpodcast@gmail.com, and the best way to know what we're doing is to follow and subscribe on your podcast platform of choice, as well as rate, review, and share with your friends. Well, I backdoored us into that very nicely. Now it's time to say goodbye. Bye-bye.
Cheers!
This has been a TDF Everything production, brah.